final match between Georgia Tech and UC Davis. It's all gonna come down to this final solve. And just like that, UC Davis takes the whole thing. Berkeley shows San Diego they're not here to mess around. And Andrew takes that solve from Hamza. What a match. Welcome everybody to this round of 16 matchup of the Collegiate Cubing Championships. We have a fantastic matchup for you guys tonight between the number 1 seed UW-Madison and the number 16 seed University of Houston. My name is Martin and I'll be your host tonight, and I'm joined by the one and only Stu Cube. We're super stoked to have him on. It's going to be a fantastic matchup. Super excited to see the debut of the number 1 seed tonight. And just to remind you guys, we'll be doing a best of 3 sets, with each set as the head-to-head matchup of a best of 7 solves.
Whoa, what's going on, guys? It's going to be a great matchup today.
The first team to win 2 matches will move on to the next round of the competition and will win this matchup. Stu, I think you're doing the coin toss. So if you could get that kicked off for us and we can get this match underway.
All right, here we go. It is tails, I believe. Which team was that? Which squad?
I think that's going to be Houston.
All right.
So Houston
starting it off. Let's go.
Yeah, Houston getting things kicked off, and we'll get this matchup underway. Let's take a quick second to meet our first 2 competitors. There on the left side of your screen, competing for UW-Madison, is Carter Kukala, 787 average, solving on the GAN 15. On the right side of your screen, Jacob, solving for Houston with the 14.9 average. These will be our first 2 competitors. Carter Kukala, a very well-respected competitor in his own right. Houston kind of has an uphill battle. So Jacob there on the right side of your screen should be getting things kicked off for Houston.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup here today. I mean, we have, debut of UW-Madison. It's been a long time coming, but finally in the round of 16, and we are going to see some fireworks from them.
So Jacob getting things kicked off for this matchup on white cross here. Going into PLL around 10 seconds here. Up with probably around a 13-second solve. It's going to be a 13.04 for Jacob.
Yeah. Pretty solid. That's what you're going to be expecting from him probably here today. We'll see how this pans out, what UW-Madison is going to start off with here. I believe Jacob does average around 13 or so we'll see what's going on here.
Yeah, Carter getting things kicked off for UW-Madison. The PL around 4 seconds. Wow. 5:18.
Very, very solid start right there. You saw really easy OL onto U-perm. Very, very advantageous last layer right there.
And I think we can see why UW-Madison, I think, is going to be probably our most electric team of this competition. I mean, Carter, slowest guy on the team, at least that we have data for, 778 average, I think. Dude, that's so fast.
Yeah, averages around, I think, low 7s. So competition performances vary. But this is a very high-pressure situation, and Carter is very skilled in these situations.
Yeah, doing great going into a second solve on yellow cross. A little bit slower. A little bit lockier at 9:21.
V-perm there, not great, but I think it will still be enough. Depends on what Jacob gets here. We'll take still a very, very good solve from Jacob to beat that right there with a low 9, but we'll see.
And I mean, Houston coming up against a stacked team like UW-Madison, they're maybe looking to secure a couple of solves here. This is a pretty good opportunity for Jacob. He's going into PLL 1166.
Solid solve right there. As you said, I think Houston will be able to take at least a couple of solves in this match. We could see some upsets here. It just depends on what UW-Madison's going to be going for here in the later stages of the match. But right now, Carter taking a commanding 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if I'm UW-Madison, looking at the bracket, they got a tough road ahead of them. I mean, they are number one, but none of their future matchups are going to be easy. I'm thinking I want to show off and scare off those future opponents.
Right, yeah. Carter's doing just that right now. Low 5. Is it the fastest solve we've seen in all of the tournaments so far?
I think so. By almost a second.
Yeah.
Jacob starting off on White Cross here. Be a pretty solid start. Went into OLL around 10 seconds. It's like that's going to be a 15:43 for Jacob.
Yeah, pretty fluid right there on the F2L. Just a lot of moves. And efficiency is a big thing, but, just going to have to try to, do a couple less turns on the F2L there. His look ahead was very, very good, though, I think. And he is solving pretty fluidly so far. Got an 11, so.
Yeah, Carter looking to get things kicked off on his third solve here. Super quick start again. Some lockups.
Yeah.
Doesn't really phase him.
Last pair right there. A little bit rough. Still the sub-8, though.
I mean, Carter doing fantastic so far.
Yeah, Carter sure is making a statement, yeah.
He'll be starting off the fourth solve here. And 518, I sure want another sub-7 of some sort.
Yeah, it probably brings down the mean to around mid-7, I would say. So, around average.
Yeah, Carter definitely has a chance at taking that number 1 spot in the individual ranking so far. But that 518, that's definitely going to put him in a good place going into PLL around 7 seconds. Not quite as fast, 889.
Yeah, still pretty solid. I mean, what more can you expect? Carter is very, very good at handling nerves. We've seen this multiple times throughout their career. Scube double world record holder. That is no easy feat.
For sure. Jacob going in with White Cross here. Be a pretty solid start going into PLL around 10 seconds. And that G Prim taking care of, but a +2. So that's going to be around a 16-second. 17.9 after the +2.
Going out with style, holding the cube up to the camera. It's what we want.
Yeah. I mean, overall, not too terrible of a set for Jacob. He secured that 11, started off with a 13. I mean, Carter, the clear favorite here. He takes that first set for UW-Madison. Let's take a quick second to look at that set.
Yeah. Jacob's solving here is pretty fluid, I'd say. Not a lot of pauses that you would expect from a solver at his level. So, pretty decent. Has the experience throughout the tournament so far. Had some decent nerve control there. But Carter is a sub-8 solver. So, this is kind of what you expect from Carter moving through here in the first ever debut of UW-Madison, the perennial number 1 seed here, and starting out with a 518. So yeah, pretty commanding lead for UW-Madison.
Yeah, definitely. He gets that 7.8 mean. I think that for sure puts him up there in the top 5 of individual rankings. So great start for UW-Madison. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Let's get the second set kicked off. Mihir on the left side of your screen for UW-Madison, 739 average solving on Tornado V4. Thomas on the right side of your screen solving for Houston on the YS3M with that 919 average. So that gap gets a little bit smaller here in this set. You can see some similar PB stats from both solvers. So Thomas definitely has a bit of a better chance moving into the second set. Now, Mihir, though, I think he's a very, very accomplished cuber.
Yeah, Mihir is the Indian national record holder for 3x3 average. So, yeah, definitely has the experience in competition, can pull it off, has a 649 PR average, I believe, in 3x3. So, yeah, can definitely pull off some sub 7 solves, has multiple sub 7 averages in his past couple competitions. So, he will be a tough one to beat for anybody in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've seen so far that nerve management is a big thing in this competition in the head-to-head matchup format. And when you have solvers who are just tenths of a second of each other, being able to handle those nerves is a big deal. And Mihir can definitely do that with statistics like his. Mihir starting off on White Cross here, a bit of a pause in OLL. Going to get an 836.
Yeah, looks like again a lot of moves there, but still pretty fluid turning, but he will be looking for something better for sure.
See what Thomas is able to do. Now, this solve,
yeah,
sorry
looks like a
about
couple of
that.
fumbles there. Low 9. So Thomas, I think, averages around mid-8, I'd say. Is a white and yellow solver, I believe. So we'll be looking for something better than that. Again, both competitors really not living up to probably what they expected their standards would be. Again, nerves do play a high role in this situation, but they're still definitely both going to be looking for something a little bit better here.
Yeah, and I mean, like, with a team like Madison, if you got an 836 and you're a 9-second solver, that's going to be a solve that you should be able to capitalize on for your team. Thomas, not a bad solve, but not able to grab onto the not quite as good solve from here. We'll see what Thomas is able to do going into his second solve to PLL. Oh,
Fumbled. Yeah.
So that might be around a 10-second solve.
Yeah, that last solve was definitely a huge chance there for Thomas.
Oh, actually, that's going to be a DNF.
Now, oh. Okay,
like,
well, yeah. This is an even bigger chance for Mihir now to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Thomas. He looked to be on pace to secure maybe a mid-8, if I remember correctly. But now Mihir just has to solve the cube. Hopefully that isn't too difficult for him going in with White Cross. $818 from Mihir.
Yeah. So I think, Houston definitely does have their chances here. If Mihir is getting, consistent 8s, I think that Thomas does have a chance to pull out at least one of these solves. If he can get a good solve here on one of the solves where Mihir doesn't perform up to his standards, probably. So he did have already a chance to do that, but then the DNF there. So we'll see I'm going to be focused on what Thomas can do here for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be a big solve for Thomas coming up. Mihir getting things kicked off on White Cross. Super quick start going into PLL sub 5, 613.
Yeah, with a little bit of fumble on the apron too. Definitely could have been sub 6. But that's the kind of momentum he'll need to carry him into the fourth solve. It's going to be a tough one for Thomas to beat, I think. But he does have a 3 at home, apparently, so we'll see what happens.
Hopefully a miracle on the cube of some sort. Going into PLL around 5 7. Oh!
Close.
759.
Okay, yeah, his best solve so far, but unfortunately it's on the one where Mihir performs exceeding his standards, so pretty unfortunate timing right there. But if Thomas can pull something out on this last one that was similar to what we just saw, it's definitely a possibility that Houston can take a point right here.
Yeah, Thomas got a lot of pressure on him now. Madison now just one solve away from taking this second set. I know Thomas can solve well, and I know that he knows that he can maybe take a solve from here, and push this set into another solve. Definitely going to be a big solve for Thomas. Looks like he's going in with White Cross here. Coming out A blazing super quick turn and going into
Solid.
PLL. What's going to be around 7 seconds?
7-6.
766.
Okay. Here's your chance right here. It's going to come down to what Mihir can do on the scramble. But Thomas looked great right there.
Yeah, other than that 613, Mihir just able to secure 2-8. So maybe
Yeah.
the solve isn't definitive, but it definitely puts a lot of pressure on Mihir. Stay locked in. It's like he's going in with white cross. Looks like to be a little bit of a slower start. Like, did he mess up
Oh,
F2
messed up.
there?
Yeah.
896.
Bit of a fumble on the PLO there, and Thomas will take a solve right here. So, like I said, it's definitely a possibility that Houston can take some solves if these UW-Madison competitors do mess up a little bit.
Yeah, slowing down that momentum that Madison built up. I mean, Thomas takes that solves by about 1.3 seconds, so not a pretty significant margin.
Yeah,
But
both competitors had some decent last layer problems, I'd say, throughout these solves so far.
here's still just one solve away from taking this set. It's like he had a bit of a miss scramble. I mean, I think Mihir, he's starting off this next solve. He's looking for something definitive, like Carter's 518 in the first set.
Yeah, for sure. There still is pressure though, for sure, because he does have 3 8s that he's gotten so far, and that can definitely happen when he has some fumbles, either in F12 or last layer.
Yeah, can't let it get to him too much here. Looks like he's going in with white cross here. Oh,
Oh,
big
huge
pause going
pause.
into F2L. This might be good for Thomas. 882 for Mihir.
Door's still open though. Thomas it's around what he averages. He can definitely beat this solve, but
Yeah, definitely within his normal average range. I mean, it's not going to be easy though. Got to stay locked in. Can't let the nerves get to him. We'll see what he's able to pull off. Looks like he's going in with yellow cross. I think Mihir did white cross. We'll see if the different solution helps him. Fewer pauses, but maybe some more lockups going into the 8 perm.
there it is. There it is.
807.
There we go. 3-2. This is a lot closer
Wow.
than I bet anyone would have expected here in the second set.
Yeah, not at all what I expected. The number 16 seed Houston putting up a fight against number 1 UW-Madison. Thomas is going to be starting off this next set. Now,
yeah,
dude, if I'm Thomas, I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Something definitive, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, you gotta just find an option here and go. Here we go.
It's like he's going in with white cross. Quick F2L going into Ola. Lockups in PLL. 913.
Low 9. Okay, that's usually what you'll see in these solves, where you can see a lot of nerves at the beginning of the solve and at the end of it. He kind of got into the pace of things during F2L, and then towards the end, still a little bit shaky. A couple of lockups there.
Yeah, I mean this leaves the door wide open for me here. Got a lot of extra time to play with. He's starting off strong, going into Olo sub 5.
Yeah,
679 for Mihir, making a statement on that last solve.
Yeah, it's going to be closer to what he averages and definitely what he was expecting of himself going in here. 2 sub 7 solves, I believe. So, still pretty elite, but Thomas was able to take two of his solves from him.
Yeah, Mihir maybe not solving quite up to the standards we expected. Yeah, he's got those 2 6s. Other than that, couple high 8s, couple low 8s. 787 mean overall. Thomas, not too bad either. I mean, 837.
Right, yeah. 837 mean is also elite, but I think the 2 means from Mihir and Carter so far, as long as Zeke doesn't, get a DNF or something, should put them at the top of the rankings coming out of this match.
Yeah, and with this second set, UW-Madison will win this matchup and move on to the next round of the competition. Although we'll still play out the third set so we can see each competitor, and each competitor can have a chance to compete here. And I'm super excited for this next matchup. Let's take a quick second to meet the next competitors. Zeke, there on the left side of your screen, 701 average, on the RS3M. Derek, 886 average. So I think that gap widens a little more. UW-Madison just so fast.
Yeah, Zeke is top 100 in the world in 3x3. Does have a low 6 PR average, I believe. And I think in NA All-Stars, a very, very elite competition, finished 6th. So he does have a lot of experience under his belt in these high pressure situations. And, he'll be one of the competitors in this tournament that can deliver when it matters most at this anchor position.
And I mean, now that UW-Madison has won, Zeke probably just looking to put on a show. Derek looking to maybe take a couple more solves for Houston. He'll be getting things kicked off. Looks like he's looking at green cross. Wanting to peel around 5 seconds. 7:48 for Derek.
Yeah, Derek is a green-only solver, I believe, from what I've seen throughout the tournament so far. So he does have that difference from Zeke, whereas Zeke is dual color neutral. So we'll see how that plays into things. But on this scramble, at least, Zeke is looking at white.
Zeke going in with white cross. Oh, it looks like a little bit of a
Might
slower
take
start.
it. There we go.
8:37.
Derek takes a solve. Derek and Thomas both have taken solves against the 1 seed. This is definitely not what we expected, but everyone's here for an upset.
I mean, Zeke getting off to a bit of a slower start. I don't think that's what any of us expected. I'm sure that's not what he expected either.
No, yeah, Zeke definitely has a lot of experience in these situations, so we'll see how he can bounce back, but at least the first solve, a little bit of, pauses, lockup, stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see what Zeke can do going in with yellow cross this time. Going into PL around 4 seconds, 6:34.
Yeah, that was a lot better right there. A lot, fewer fumbles, things like that. A lot more fluid of an F2L.
Yeah, now I think Derek is about 1.5 seconds lower than Zeke on average, but I mean, Derek's still putting up a fight. He took that first solve. He's not going to give Zeke a rest. Derek going in, green cross. Yep. Oh, still a good solve. 776.
Yeah, finishing up the J from there. A little bit of keyhole in that solve, I think. Derek, yeah, he does average around there. He's definitely not going to be mad at a sub 8. There's really not much more you can do when Zeke is, getting low 6s. So that's all he can really hope for, is that Zeke messes up a little bit here, gets a 7 or an 8, and he can capitalize.
I mean, I'll say Houston putting up more of a fight than I thought. I mean, even in that first set, Jacob put up some good solving, had some unfortunate mishaps, but overall, Houston putting up a pretty good fight. Derek going into his third solve, green cross, wanted to peel around 5 seconds. Another great solve, 7:33 from Derek.
That's going to give him another opportunity here. We saw the same thing with Thomas. It's just going to depend on how Zeke performs on this solve, but definitely very, very solid solving from Derek here. You'd expect the 1 in 16 matchup would be more lopsided.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Derek at this rate, he's kind of challenging some of UW-Madison's own individual rankings at this point. Zeke going in with yellow cross, 754.
Yeah. Didn't know the ZB, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, Derek takes another solve for Houston. Now Houston leading UW-Madison.
Yeah, that was another opportunity. Zeke just barely came through when it mattered, but Derek, Derek's still hanging in there for sure.
So your Zeke going into his fourth solve now. Really looking to solve a little bit better. Looks like he's not too happy with this scramble, but he's going in with white cross. Looks like a lot of moves in F2L. Finishes off with a 739.
Another low 7 there. Again, I don't want to say leaving the door wide open because it still is a low 7, but Derek can take this.
Yeah, he's been performing really, really well. Only gotten 7 so far. See what Derek does here. Green cross again. More pauses in F2L. Big pause in OLL.
Yeah, okay.
1183.
Looks like he might have been looking for the ZB there. I'm not sure. Maybe the COLL, but yeah, a lot of pauses throughout the F2L initially anyway, so the solve was kind of lost by that point.
I mean, all tied up in this last set.
Definitely not what you would have expected going into this matchup at all.
Absolutely
We've said
not.
it so many
Absolutely
times,
not.
but Derek has his chances still.
And I mean, something else is that Derek has won a couple of solves solving first. I guess it seems like it would be easier to solve second because you know like how fast you have to go and how relaxed you can be. But Derek taking some of these solves when he solves first too.
Big pause here on this solve, yeah.
He's able to pull it together pretty well. Maybe I spoke too soon. 1032.
Derek has shown pretty solid nerve control so far, but you know things happen. 10-second solves happen. Should be fairly easy for Zeke to win this one, but it still is 3-2, and Derek still does have light here to win the third set.
And I mean, Derek, he's gotta shake that 10-second solve off and let it get to him. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think Zeke has been quite performing as well as we initially thought. He does have that low 6.
yeah, that's definitely what he'd be aiming for here, but a couple of 7s that he's lost.
Going in with yellow cross. Maybe a little bit slower. 837 from Zeke.
Yeah, a little bit of a shaky F12 there. No ZB into the Y perm, so low 8 is definitely beatable again for Derek. Derek has the chance here to keep himself in it. Never thought I would have been saying that, but
Yeah, I mean, Derek, now he's looking to win this set, not just take more solves. I mean, Zeke now up 3 solves to Derek's 2, so he's just 1 solve away. But he's starting off looking to make a statement with another low 6 probably. Into PLL 6.9.
yeah, a lot better of a solve there, bouncing back for Zeke. He's definitely going to be expecting sub-7s in these matches. But, still going to be a pretty decent mean. It's going to rank him number 1, but we'll see if Derek can come through here with the sub-7 to beat. Green
A lot more
crossed.
pressure on Derek. Oh,
It's going to be a mid-7.
798.
Okay. Derek definitely made it a lot closer than we thought, but UW-Madison coming through here and still winning 3-0, as many probably expected, but definitely a lot closer than people expected.
Yeah, not an easy 3-0 for sure. Houston putting up a great fight against the number 1 seed.
Interested to see what Zeke's
UW-Madison.
mean is here for sure.
Yeah, let's take a quick second. See the competitors saying goodbye. We'll take a look at our match recap. 748 mean from Zeke.
Still the fastest mean we've seen in the tournament so far, probably, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, 878 mean from Derek. I mean, other than that 11 and 10, that's a good set from Derek either way.
Yeah, for sure. Taking any solves off of a top 100 in the world solver is no easy feat. So definitely big ups to Derek here. I think Derek and Thomas finishing with like a mid 8 average for both of them. I think a low 8 for Thomas and a mid 8 for Derek, or a high 8. So that's definitely going to rank them pretty high still.
Yeah, both able to take a couple of solves off UW-Madison. I mean, still an impressive debut from UW-Madison. Maybe not quite as electric as we expected. I mean, you can't argue with 6s and even a 5, a low 5.
Yeah.
Still impressive solving. Let's take a look at the road. let's take a look at the road UW-Madison has ahead of them. Number 9, Vanderbilt. Now, dude, Vanderbilt, they've been impressive. They upset Penn State a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Vanderbilt's very similar to Houston, I'd say. So you could definitely see them take a couple of solves like we saw tonight, but maybe even further than that, depending upon the UW-Madison performance in that match.
Yeah, and looking even further than that, they might be eyeing down UT Austin, Chapel Hill maybe. I mean, they should be taking a look at this stream and eyeing down. I mean, all the solvers for UW-Madison were fantastic. They're going to be an electric team moving forward.
Right. Nerves are definitely still a part of it, though. Nerves.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter how much experience you have, it can always come down to just a few turns at the end. Some rough planning at the beginning. It just depends. So even solvers as experienced as a Zeke, a Carter, Mihir can definitely, at times it just, Derek can take a solve or something. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, UW-Madison has won this matchup 3-0, but it was a tough 3-0. So they'll be moving on to the next round of the competition. They're eyeing down Vanderbilt moving forward. StuCube, thank you so much for joining us on stream. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, appreciate it. It was great. We saw an electric opening performance for UW-Madison, so it was fun to watch for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of fun commentating with you. We got another matchup coming later this weekend. UNC Chapel Hill, number 4 seed, making their debut as well against Maryland this Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Central on this YouTube channel as well. So thank you again to everybody for watching. Thank you, StuCube, for coming on and commentating with me. And this is Martin signing off.